Well, only one more day left of this 2-week extravaganza, this fellowship of photography. It's been just absolutely incredible. About 3 or 4 years ago, I knew nothing about photography other than composition, which I think was just basically in my brain. If I liked something, I took a picture of it. And I went searching online for a Nikon because it was the camera I had all of my life, and I was starting to get into mirrorless and I wanted to learn more about it. And I came upon the channel on YouTube by this crazy guy who was up on the top of a mountain somewhere eating an apple. And he was so excited and showed so much joy in doing what he was doing and just being outside that I said, I want to do that. And I want to meet that guy. And in the interim 3-4 years, I've gotten to know him, many of his friends, gone on many trips, and learned so many things about this wonderful craft that is photography. But more than learning about the camera and the settings and the composition, I've learned a lot about myself, a lot about what it means to be outside, what it means to take in your surroundings, what it is to enjoy the moment and take part in the moment. Hitting the shutter is part of that. And I've discussed before on some of my videos, from a medical standpoint, a physiologic standpoint, just hitting that shutter releases a whole series of chemicals in our brains that brings joy, emotions of peace, reduces anxiety, and all those things embed in our brain that moment in time. And that's important. And that's why I like and enjoy this amazing craft. We're getting some good light now. We've had some amazing sunsets. We've had rainbows, changes in weather from moment to moment. But just being out here, no matter the conditions, is really what it's all about. And I'm going to stop right now because there's a rainbow. Ah!
Hey there. Well, when we last left off, I had just made it to the top of Old Man of Store on the Isle of Skye. I'll leave a link up top in case you haven't seen part 1 yet. And while that was a difficult yet spectacular climb, what awaited me at the Needle and the Quairaing truly pushed my limits. In today's video, we're going to continue this incredible journey of photographic discovery on this technically challenging climb on the Isle of Skye, and then move on to one of the most magnificent places in the Outer Hebrides, the Isle of Harris, where we experienced perhaps some of the most amazing photographic, awe-inspiring conditions I've ever witnessed. So make sure you hang around till the end, where I'm going to show you some of my favorite captures and provide some insights into how you can take your photography to a new level. Whether you're a professional, amateur, or just love to get outside with a camera, there is so much to glean from what I learned in this 2-week photographic journey. And please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and comment below. I truly want to hear from you and start a conversation. So, let's do this.
Perfect. 4K.
Absolutely.
As Nigel, Rhiannon, and I started up the Quairaing, it was still dark, and we needed our headlamps to find our way along the thin, steep path up the mountain. Situated in the north of Skye, in an area known as the Trottermish, we were reassured by Nigel that this wasn't going to be that difficult to climb. It wasn't until we got close to the top that I realized how overly optimistic that was. I later would read about the level in a Scottish hiking manual, which rates this hike as hard and not approachable in wet weather due to rock slides. Perhaps it was better I didn't know this beforehand, for as the climb got steeper and more technically difficult and challenging, I kept reassuring myself that it wasn't that hard. And, well, once the sun started to rise and I saw that incredible view laid out in front of me, I soon forgot my fears and soaked in the magnificence of this sight. And while with every step, every turn of the corner, we saw more amazing sights, it always seemed that our goal to get to the eye of the needle was still way out of reach. After finally deciding to ditch the weight of our camera bags and bringing just the essentials, we headed up the steep, treacherous final push to the needle in the Quairaing. And what awaited us at the top was simply spectacular.
I'm in heaven.
Unfriggin' believable.
It was a hell of a climb, but we made it up here. What did he say? Doesn't get better than let me show you what I'm looking at here. We came from down there, actually all the way down there.
As the skies darkened and snow began to fall, we decided to get started back down before the trail became impossible to traverse. We took our time, and as we made it down to the main trail, the clouds parted and the lights seemed to change with every step down the mountain. With the high dynamic range and sun rising, I bracketed my shots, and I found compositions everywhere I looked. We put the drone up again, and Nigel got his apple moment in an epic shot, albeit without the apple. At the bottom, in a small ledge on the edge of the cliff, stood a lone tree, which we cautiously set up tripods behind to capture this unique scene as those clouds once again took over the sky. As we headed back to our cottage, we stopped at the side of the road where, sitting in a ravine overlooking the Sea of Raasay and distant Cuillin Mountains, stood another lone tree. I climbed down to get a better composition, trying to get as much separation of the tree from the surrounding landscape, and this turned out to be one of my favorite photos of the day. As we savored the breathtaking cliffs of Skye, the ethereal notes of the Skye boat song echoed in my mind. This haunting ballad recounting the escape of old Bonnie Prince Charles after the defeat at Culloden symbolizes the island's rich history of exile and resilience, a reminder of the forced emigrations that shape destinies, and, unfortunately, the hypocrisy of rejection faced by today's migrants in my own country. With our spirits high, we hurried to catch the ferry to the Isle of Harris. The light was harsh, so I decided to take out my long lens, using the distant shapes and layers of the landscape and sun to capture some abstracts. Upon arrival, we passed up our rental house and headed directly to the beach at Luskentyre. As we arrived at the beachhead, I could sense Nigel's anticipation. His steps quickened as he approached the dunes, a visceral testament to his connection with this place. 2 years prior, he had spent a month here in solitude, quietly honing his photography skills. Now, standing by his side, I prepared to embark on a journey that would promise my own transformation through the lens. As sunset painted Luskentyre Beach in vivid oranges and purples, I felt a thrill in capturing nature's artistry. Each click of the shutter evolved into a piece of my narrative, revealing new perspectives and inspirations. As darkness descended, we retraced our steps, appreciating how light transformed our surroundings, leaving us with indelible memories etched in both heart and lens. When I go on a photography trip such as this, I, like many of you, take a ton of photos. As I get better at my photography, I find I take less shots. And instead, I consciously try to take a deep breath, take in the surroundings, and plan my compositions more purposely. Granted, when a rainbow kicks off or a bird flies into the scene, all bets are off. But I am getting better, and I believe it's starting to show in my work. There are certain times when I hit the shutter that I know that this is the shot, and those are the ones that I will invariably edit first. But on this trip, It has brought me so many that honestly I can't get through them and this journey in just 2 videos. So you're just gonna have to subscribe, like, and ring the bell to get notified when my final video comes out, where I'll discuss and showcase our magnificent final week at Luskentyre and my thoughts and takeaways from this journey. And please leave a comment. It's the only way I can tell how you feel and improve my own photography. So, till next time.
Well, the week hasn't even come to a close yet. And we just got hit with hail, rain, and a beautiful rainbow over this beach. God, it's gorgeous here. I feel like I have the entire beach to myself. Dunes, mountains, sun setting in the back, and a gorgeous rainbow to boot. Oh man. I guess it doesn't get better than this. Talk about awe-inspiring. Damn, it's incredible.